Hey folks, it's official. Last day of harvest of 2022. Come along with it. Well, we just got back from unloading the load that was loaded last night before they shut down. And we're taking on another load of corn. And the wind's kicking up out here. It's supposed to be up to 50 miles an hour maximum gust today. Got a real tornado blowing out here. A tornado is just like a tornado, but it's full of corn leaves and it doesn't turn trailer houses over. Now we're running one combine and 2 trucks, and it's a 45-minute round trip. So we start out okay in the morning, but it gets to where we're not keeping up with the combine. So when I got back this time, the both grain carts and the combine are waiting in the field. Nobody's moving. But unless you got a third truck, that's what you got to do. Got the grain cart filling us up. See the spout there, he's done. So we're going to roll on out of here. So like we said, the wind's blowing pretty good. So you got to be careful when the wind's blowing that you don't roll your tarp out in the wind, because the wind will pick up your tarp and throw it off the truck. So we got our fancy dancy little remote here, and we just hit close, and the tarp's going to close for us while we're in here out of the wind. You'll see it come over the side of the truck here in a second. There she comes. Goes down and then rolls back under and locks you in, and then you're ready to go. Now this ramp here in and off the road is real narrow when you're pulling like a 40-foot trailer. You got to be real careful going through here, and you got to go nice and wide when you come up on the road. Otherwise you put your rear tire of your trailer off in the road ditch. And if you put your rear tire of the trailer off in the road ditch, your trailer turns over and all your corn goes in the road ditch. And a lot of times the tractor will turn over with the trailer. So there's benefits not to do that. Alright, we're parked in here snugly behind the bins out of the wind, and this is where we open the tarp. Once she's open, we can go around and pull on the pit. Make a nice wide corner so our trailer gets around and gets straight. We center ourselves on the pit as we cross over. Corn going in. So we make a mark on here when we come in and we dump. We started this bin yesterday morning. It's a 50,000 bushel bin, and there's about 1,000 bushel in each truck. So just since yesterday morning, we got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26 truckloads into this bin, which means we're about half full. So after we dump the front part of the hopper, they call these traps, or like trap doors. Then we got to move forward, and there's another trap for the second half of the hopper, and then we dump that. Now the front trap pretty much just goes all in the pit because there's room. The second trap, the pit's already 3/4 full, so you got to meter the corn going in to where the elevator can keep up with it and not to make a mess. So while we're waiting for this, we head over here to the elevator. Every load we take a sample out of the elevator and dump it in that bucket, and then that kind of gives them a sample of the whole bin when they're done, so they can test it for moisture and stuff like that. But this bin setup here is pretty cool. Got 4 50,000 bushel bins. We started on bin 1, we filled 1 and 2, now we're on bin 3. Now this elevator's got a pivot down here on the bottom. So all you got to do when you want to move to the next bin is to jack the elevator up, which is done by hydraulic motor. Got a cable system that goes to that far leg, and when you pull that far leg in, the elevator goes up and it comes out of the top of the bin, and then you just hook onto it with a tractor and pull it to the next bin and then let it back down. There's somebody up top guiding everybody. You put it back down, you secure it with chains so the winds don't blow it around, and it goes to the next bin. There's actually room for a 5th bin over here, I guess, if they ever need one. But it's a pretty solid bin setup. I like it. I just wish the pit auger would keep up with the combine. The combine runs corn a little bit faster than the pit auger, and it's very evident when you're harvesting close by and you're short hauling. It'd be nice to have a bigger auger and a system that would actually run a little bit faster than the combine. But I'm not complaining. It gives me time to eat my lunch and do whatever, because when you're farming, you don't get like a true lunch or breaks or anything like that. It's just kind of built in during the day. You eat your lunch when you're waiting to get loaded or waiting to unload, and same way with breaks. You really don't need a break. You're sitting in the truck all day and you're waiting here and there, so it's not your standard 9 to 5 job by any means. All right, the back trap is empty. The pit is absolutely full. We give her a quick little sweep here, get the corn out of the way of the truck tires. And we're parked to this side of the pit, so don't really have any to move on the other side, just so we're not running over corn. Now this system here will continue to run after I leave, and it's got an automatic sensor on this big elevator that when it senses it's not under load anymore when it's out of corn, it shuts the whole system off. So we're going to go check that real quick, make sure everything is running smoothly still, and then we're going to be back on the road out to the field, because they'll be waiting for us when we get out there. All right, our elevator was running smoothly, so we're going to take off. We're hot lapping. We got to get back to the field quick. This truck will only go so fast. It won't go over the speed limit because it's got a governor. The other driver, his truck is either doesn't have a governor or it's governed higher than this one. So he can run a little bit faster than me, and he can spin up for hills where I can't. I can only go into the hill at my maximum speed, and then I'm ended up about 15 miles an hour slower by the time I top the hill. But we're going to say goodbye to you guys for a minute while we're driving. Blowing corn. Getting crazy out here. I don't think the strong stuff's going to start for a while. Have I told you lately that I just absolutely hate the dust? This time of year, with the lack of moisture we've got here in this part of Nebraska, it's just a dust bowl. And I'm so tired of it, especially like when you're approaching your turnoff on your 15-mile gravel road, and the semi in front of you puts its blinker on, and then you have a crazy cloud of dust all the way home, especially after dark, when the dust just hangs in the air and doesn't go away and there's no wind. Terrible. I'm ready for the ice and the snow, and people around here get upset when I make that statement, but the dust doesn't blow in the snow, and I'll wear a damn coat. The wind's getting pretty treacherous out on the east-west portion that we're driving. Usually when you're loaded, you got that 80,000 pounds to hold you firmly to the road. But even loaded, I was shaving the white line a couple times when that wind hit me. So it's getting pretty ugly. You can imagine what it's like with an empty trailer, like a big sail behind you. And these trailers are built to be light so you can haul more corn. You can have more net weight in the trailer. So it blows around pretty easy. So on the way back to the field, I slowed down to about 10 miles an hour slower than what I was driving. Seems a little safer. And my boss will not have a problem with that. He would agree that my safety is more important than a combine sitting in the field. So I've had bosses, however, that said, drive it or I'll find somebody that will. And you know what you say to those bosses? Get to looking. Down to one grain cart driver. So we got to use the old 8260. So update since we spoke last. Had a rock come off the drivers here and shattered the back window. Scared the crap out of me and the pup. So we put in some little duct tape action there. And then a turn of events, the other truck broke down. So I'm hauling all this by myself. We're doing hot laps as fast as we can go. When I get back, the combine's waiting for us, and there's 2 full grain carts. So we got to turn and burn. The wind changed direction. Now it's coming from the north, so it got cold. Had to go with the flannel. But this is my favorite part of the night. I love this part of the night. Got the sun going down. Got all the fall colors out. Beautiful out here. I think the pup is about done with harvest. You think so? Been doing a lot of napping over here today. There we go. The last grain cart being unloaded for the night. Yeah, you heard me right. Harvest 2022, the season that won't end. Because of all the slowdowns and everything that's happened, the breakdowns. We projected on getting done tonight, but it didn't happen. But we're done hauling for the night. We're going to park both trucks. They're going to continue to combine. They're going to fill both trucks in both grain bins or grain carts. So that'll be 4 loads in the morning that we're going to take to the feedlot. They're saying we only got about 25 acres left out here, so that won't take long. It won't even be half a day tomorrow. But we do have to get into tomorrow, so didn't make it today. But oh well, that's how farming goes, right, Brandy? Yep. Alright, so now we got a 40-minute drive home through the gauntlet of suicidal deer out here in Nebraska. That time of year, every time it's harvest time, the deer get suicidal for some reason. And it's Nebraska dark out here. If you don't know what Nebraska dark is, you have to live in the Midwest to understand. It's so dark because there's no street lights, there's no yard lights at any of the places out here. So your headlights just wash out into nothing. And let me show you what Nebraska dark looks like. That's Nebraska dark right there. There's a stop sign. That's about all you can see. So we're going to roll it home. Kelly will already be in bed by the time we get home. And by the time you see this video, our harvest will be officially over. And I can then pray for rain. But I guess that's not very fair because there's still a lot of corn and soybeans in the field out here. Just because we're done doesn't mean everybody's done. But still could take some rain. It's pretty dusty out here. So stay safe, stay healthy. We love you guys. We'll see you on the next video. We're going to be catching up on the homestead now that harvest is over. So stick around. Catch you later.